Hello, today is Sunday, September 17th, and what I'm going to do in this video is just take you around and show you what's going on in my gardens. I didn't do much in my gardens in August because it was so incredibly hot, and I went traveling the last week of August and first week of September. So yeah, you're going to get a good look at the good, bad, and the ugly. But my mulch was delivered today. Yay! So I'm going to get started on getting things cleaned up today and getting ready for fall. But I'm also going to start with planting my Belinda's Dream Roses that were delivered and get those in the ground and settled in their new beds. And I'll do a separate video on that. So by the time that you see this video, I will have posted about receiving those yesterday. So let's take a look at what's going on in my garden. Okay, so I'm just flipping the camera around, and this is where I was standing to do the intro here. And I love these little trees. They only get 3x3. They're by Monrovia, and I really want more of these. These guys have done so well. And look at this one. So pretty. So they're just perfect for our little entrance sign right here. And here's the tag. I had to go pull it because I always forget what they are. But I definitely want more of these. Westmont Chinese Arborvitaes. So yes, so that's a good start, right? Now there's Miss Ellie. Say hi, Ellie. Say hi, everyone. Now let's take a view this way. So yeah, everything just is kind of hanging on. We had irrigation up here, but as you can see, the temperatures got so intense that even with irrigation up here, we have some spots of our country grass. I call it country grass because it's not anything special. And you can see here, we've had rain all week, but as dry as it was, look how cracked this is. So yeah, so even the country grass, even on irrigation, was struggling just a bit. And you can kind of hear the crunch probably under my feet as I was walking. But here's this front. Here's the bird bath. Everything is just kind of just been hanging on. And still looks pretty good. This tricolored potato vine, it's doing really well in here. It's kind of taken over the container. But it's time for these petunias to go goodbye. But I am pleased with the potato vine. Really pleased with it. All right, so we're going to move now. I probably should have started up here at the triangle. So going to reverse, go back over this way to this triangle. Okay, so here we go. We're back up here. Now, if you're new here or haven't seen some of the past videos, the plan is to eventually have a circle drive that comes around here up front. Now, I think we're just going to start and have it be grass at first until we can afford to actually get that done. But this is the reason I have these random triangles here. I was just starting the beds, but eventually that'll be a whole bed here, and I'm going to start that this fall, leading off of this driveway, which will be, you know, the start of the circle drive here. But the plantings here are going to change. Now, the Carly Rose grass here, it's its second year. This one didn't do as well, but this one did its best. It's going to stay, but zinnias did well. The gomphrena did well, but they're just annuals. So I'm going to do some perennial natives. I'll show you. I picked up 3 of them already. They're up there on the sidewalk. So that's going to be part of some of my fall plantings. But I have these proven winners soft serve false cypresses. It's alive. Already checked it, you guys. We still have a little bit of green in here, but as you can see, it did not do well those last couple weeks of that intense heat. They finally gave up. But I do have a good spot for them where they won't get so much sun, and the grass does really well over there. So I think these guys will do well. They're zoned up to zone 8, but that might be pushing it for these false serve soft cypresses. I really wanted them because they look like soft serve ice cream cones. But yeah, those are going to be moving. Carly Rose grasses are staying. But what's going up here for now? Oh, plane overhead. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm going to switch over to native plants and Texas Superstar plants because I don't think we're out of the woods for any kind of drought happening around here. And so I need some plants that can hold up to the heat and hold up to not having rain. But here's just a little overview of this bed as we're going. My hostas from Gilbert H. Wild are doing well back here. I don't know if I said already, but we had a whole week of rain last week. And oh my goodness, it was wonderful. So here's my little hydrangea I moved that was up front with these little trees. And it's doing well. And my big leaf hydrangeas, these are new. This is second year, but it got bit back by those freakish below zero temperatures that we're not used to experiencing here in North Texas. My Hyconocloa grass is doing well. Here are the coast to coast hostas. Second year, but I moved them. So they're first year up here, but hopefully next year they'll do well. So the big leaf hydrangeas, they're hanging on, doing well. Another coast to coast. And then here are the proven winners, Caribbean coral caladiums. They're kind of fading out just a bit, but they did amazing. They did really well up here. Just do a step back so you can see. There's some Patriot hostas. I thought I had dug all these up and put them back in my secret garden, but obviously not. And then those new hostas I picked up at the nursery, and they just said hosta. I don't know what kind they are. And then weed. So, but not that bad. I just have to do a little bit of cleanup. And look at my Boston fern showing out. So I'm getting ready for fall, so I've taken off my wreath there. It's gonna do a little change out up here, but the English ivy just growing like crazy up here. Looks really, really good. Yeah, I'm super pleased with that. And of course that Boston fern is just so happy. The lady Boston fern, wah wah. It was on my back patio, if you remember, if you followed along, and it was not doing well. I cut it all back and brought it up here since this one is so happy up here. Let's get another good look at, look how full that is. She's pushing out new growth and looking really well. These are my blue mouse ear hostas. That one's brand new this year, and this one, they're both brand new, but this one was shipped bare root. So it's doing really, really good. And then here, talking about the native plants, just give you a quick rundown right here. These are red yuccas, and they are native here to North Texas, do really well, heat and drought tolerant. And Walmart had 3 of these, so I picked up all 3. So I'm going to start revamping, creating new beds this fall here with this triangle that mimics that one over there. And since they only had 3, I really wanted 6 because I want to keep the 2 Carly Rose grasses and dot these red yuccas in there because they can get, I was reading on Texas Ag site, they can get really big, like 5 by 5 and maybe even bigger than that. So I think I'm going to try to divide these. We'll see. So I can have 3 over here in between these 2 Carly Rose grasses. Big leaf hydrangea here and crepe myrtles that have self-seeded. I got to come pull these out again. Another Hyconocloa grass. It's doing well. It did get a little bit of scorch, but it's pretty protected here. It's just, it was so hot. So hot. And then my baby brand new ballet slippers hibiscus hanging in there, strong and tough. So definitely keeping these guys. And then there is my other soft serve false cypress. Yes, you guys, I checked on them as soon as I got back. They are alive, thank goodness. But I am going to move them, and I'll show you where. If you watch the video, will be yesterday by the time you're watching this. I posted it yesterday about my roses. I'm going to use these guys as the entrance into my new what will be rose garden. So you can see it's alive, but it just can't take it. It needs more shelter from the sun. And where I'm going to move it, it's going to get it. So I want to keep them. But yeah, this is Carly Rose here. And this is the one I divided. It's alive, hanging on. So I might have to, I have another one that I planted in the back just for a backup in case this division didn't work out. So I will maybe move that one up here and replace this little division I did. But all in time, we'll see. We'll see as I start going on creating the new beds. But really my focus now is to get my roses that came in planted. I'll just take one more look right here because this looks really good to me. It's probably the best part of my garden right now. It's the front. So that's good. So when people come by, this is what they see. So at least this looks nice, right? All right, moving on. Let's check on the window boxes up here on the shed. Okay, so coming up here in front of the shed slash shop, again, that's another reason I brought this cord out. I want to get 2 planters here, and I really would like to get some more of these and see how well they do here. And if they're in pots, if they're not doing well, then I can move them around. So there's that. I just haven't found the right containers I want yet to go right there, but that'll be lovely. But let's look at the window boxes. The impatiens are completely gone. And what's hanging on is the glacier ivy, doing really well by proven winners. This is the coleus we had in here last year and obviously self-seeded. So it's so pretty, and I'm just gonna let that grow up. The white begonias in this one, look at them, pitiful. And have some weeds. That's fun. This one, doing better than that other one. Glacier ivy hanging on, but the orange impatiens I had in here, completely gone. But these begonias look better over here. And then we'll just walk around the other side. Now my other window box, a bird set up a nest, not once, but twice in there. And since the bird made her nest, I just let her do what she needed to do. And as a consequence of that, however, it killed off the New Guinea impatiens that were in here, those big orange ones. Oh, I love those so much, they're gone. But the petcoas, they hung on in here, and so did the glacier ivy, of course. This ivy doing fantastic, and I love this petcoa. It is a hybrid between a petunia and a calibrachoa, and it has just done so well. It's very pretty. My husband loves the yellow flowers and orange, and so they just worked out really well here until the bird might still have a nest over in there. Let's see. Can't really see because I'm short, but maybe my camera can see. I'm just gonna swing back this way. It's such a beautiful day, you guys. I am so happy that those triple digits are over. But here's the leaning tower of mulch. I can't believe how much mulch they put on one pallet. It is what it is. But that's fantastic. It's here, so I can get going. And we're gonna head over here after we look at the garage containers into my secret garden. But let's look at these guys here. I cut these back, you guys, before I went out of town. They've already flushed back. They have already flushed back. This is chocolate drop coleus right here, and that's the Newly Noir. This dark colored one, Newly Noir coleus. And there's a Surefire rose begonia in here, still hanging on. But it couldn't win out with the coleus, but I can't believe how well these containers have done. Just marvelous. Cut them back, just boom, flushed right back out. They're really pretty. So yeah, I'm tickled over this chocolate drop coleus. This is my first year planting that, and I'll probably do that again. Doesn't seem like I can see the Surefire over in here. Maybe it finally gave up. Yeah, there's those containers. All right, so just going to kind of turn back slowly this way. And we're gonna go in here and see what's going on inside the secret garden. Okay, had to take a quick pause there because my husband found a snake. It was a ribbon snake, and if you're squeamish, I would say move past about 10 seconds because I'm going to put in a picture of the snake that was right in front of the garage I was just showing you the planters of. All right, so I'm just going to head over to this side of the garden because that's where everything's doing well now that the commotion of the snake is over. The snake has been relocated to the pasture, and with the little snake grabber, and it does not harm them, allows you to transport them safely and relocate them. So, all is well now. So these containers are doing so well, and we'll just start here with this one. If you've been following along, I ordered a Steady As She Goes gardenia from QVC. It was supposed to be a gallon, but when it got here, it was maybe quart size. So I just had this pot available, and I put it in this pot, and it has thrived. As you can see, it's got blooms that are going out right here, and my goodness, it smells delightful. Here's one right here. It's gorgeous. So it is doing so well, and it was really too small for this pot, but that's what I had available. That's what I put it in, and now I have to figure out a good spot in the landscape for her, but doing so well right here. And then beside her is my birthday girl rose from Heirloom Roses. My husband purchased me this rose for my birthday. She's been in this pot since July, and gorgeous. She's absolutely gorgeous. Look at this sweet little bloom. Look at that bud coming out. See if it'll focus. There we go. Oh, so pretty, and I love the color of her leaves. See if I can get my shadow out of this. But she's doing so well, just flushed out almost immediately with leaves when I put her in this pot. Doing fantastic. We're gonna do a slow pan up and around to go over to these pots. Don't want to give anybody whiplash. Now these are the Proven Winners Crema Roses and Rise Up Lilac Days in these pots here. Look at the crema blooming out. Gorgeous. You might hear some work going on in the background. And then Rise Up, I mean, just growing, just beautiful. No blooms on this one. Oh, I've got some coming out over here. Let's see, right here. Got some starting over here. Very pretty. Focus. There we go. Having a hard time getting my camera to focus. So pretty. Okay, seems like it's going to be a day for focus issues and snake issues. All right, so moving on. This pot here, same thing over here. Proven Winners, Rise Up Lilac Days, and Crema Rose. They're both doing well over here. And look at Rise Up Lilac Days on this one. It has grown so tall. I clipped it in with some clips I had from my orchid inside. Don't know if you can see that there, but oh yeah, it's getting good and tall. Okay, so I'm probably gonna breeze through here kind of quickly because there's just weeds and things that just need to be cut back. But I did want to show you the color of these zinnias that I had put these seeds in this, what I call the daylily bed here with the bird bath. Look how pretty this is. What a pretty color. But the wind came through with the storms. It was so fierce. It just knocked them all down. As you can see, my zinnias over here, they are flat. But yeah, the echinaceas have all gone out. I have let the birds pick them. So I think it's about time to cut these back and get this cleaned up. We just came from right there, so after I breeze through here, and this bed will go to that back bed. But this is the bed. This also needs to be cleaned up where I put the limelight, and it's in there doing good. It's its first year. It was a gallon size. And then this is where I also put the Proven Winners La Vida Moss, Indian Hawthorn. Look, it's doing well. It even has some little things on it. I'm so tickled. Let me get my shadow out of that. And then I put the two, shadow time, Chinese French flowers. They're doing all right. And I did have caladiums coming up here, but they're starting to fade out. And here's another Chinese French flower. But yeah, this is it. You have to kind of decipher between the weeds and the plants at this point, but that's what happens when you leave your garden. Let me come back up this way. So yeah, these zinnias are hanging on okay. But boy, they got whipped around. That color is gorgeous. And look at this one. Look how big this one is. That's gorgeous. There are my Atlas roses. They're not in bloom, but they're alive, doing well. Butterfly weed, growing well. This is another one. It doesn't look too sharp, but maybe it's starting to go out. But yeah, full of weeds. I need to clean this up and get the mulch in. So it's part of those pallets going on over there. In this back bed here, this little gumdrop tree had all the pretty caladiums underneath it. It's absolutely going out right now, but it looked so good when they were all going. And then I'm sure those of you that watched the Tuff Stuff hydrangea video want to know about that gal and hanging tough. Doing so well. Super pleased. So yes, this bed's going to get cleaned up and get mulch around these guys. Hopefully get them settled in for a nice fall and a long winter nap. But yeah, I did seed some zinnias in here, but they did not do so well. Look, I have one pitiful bloom. They were supposed to be bright pink. I thought I was gonna get, you know, I don't know. I just thought I was gonna get some late season beautiful pops of pink color back here, and that didn't happen for me. Now these echinaceas are still kind of going here, so I'm probably just gonna let them keep going for a little bit longer. Maybe clean them up a bit. But yeah, all of this needs to be cleaned up. These are my Perfecto Mundo carpet azaleas, the pink ones, here and here. And this is the white one, and it has a few leaves left. It has struggled. So I don't know if that's gonna make it, but gonna mulch everything in and see. I have another of the Perfecto Mundo white reblooming azalea here, and it had put on great growth. So I definitely know that one's going to make it. But this one, I put another of the pink carpet azaleas here, and it's a goner. Yeah, definitely not with us anymore. So, this is my back bed here. My Japanese maple. I underplanted it with some heucheras, and heucheras in this pot because when I moved here, planting heucheras, they just heave right up out of the ground, so I'm having to do these in pots. But I just love them. There's so many pretty colors, but I can't grow them. So in this bed were hostas and the purple shamrocks, done really well. I did have a few hostas take on some burn, but that's okay. This is fully shaded. It gets a little bit of sun, dappled sun, but it could not take those high temperatures apparently. But this hosta, how pretty this combination is with the purple shamrock and this hosta, doing so great. Very pretty, very, very pretty. Some brunnera. My little pot of impatiens and ivy, I put it down there so the irrigation could hit it. And my elephant ears, fading out, fading out. Let me walk in here. So yeah, weeds and plants, but it's not as bad as I anticipated it to be when I got back with the weed growth, but still some work to do. This is Woo La La, has some burn on there, but looking forward to next year. Miss America is completely gone. So that's what's going on in this bed. Look, the impatiens are trying to come back and the ivy's trying to grow. So I guess that was a good idea. Oh, I think it has some buds on it. Maybe, yeah. All right, so moving it out of this thing down there seemed to help. All right, so let me pan around. This bed here is what I call my lily bed. I only had like 3 lilies bloom this year. So these have Asiatics in there. I don't know what's going on. Popped in a Coreopsis right here in the middle, and it's done. I have some calla lilies in here as well with some Asiatics, and it's starting to go, but it never bloomed. So we'll see. I may be rethinking what I'm planting in this bed. Because if you haven't been here, there used to be 2 trees right here in the garden. 1, 2. This entire garden used to be complete shade. But right before we closed on the house, we had a 2021, a rare below zero snap. I mean, and it lasted for a couple weeks, and it killed. When we moved in, we had to have 21 trees removed. They were dead, and 2 of them were there, and one of those 21 was here as well, where the sheep are. So this became full sun when we realized those trees were dead and had those removed. All right, so this bed here, the coffee cups have done absolutely amazing. They thrive in the heat and the sun, apparently, and this is my new Southern Living, or not new to me. I tried to plant this Southern Living gardenia last year, and I put it where I have that limelight hydrangea right now, and it died out, so I'm trying it again over here, and I think it's going to work out because it's alive. It didn't bloom. It had some blooms on it when it arrived, but it hasn't bloomed since, but it's alive. It's green, doing well. And then I had purple shamrock pop up in here. And I think I planted a few when we first moved in that I transplanted from the rental house, but I guess I didn't get them all when I moved them. So that thing likes the shade back there of the gardenia. And then, you know, weeds. This bed here, the caladiums that my husband bought me for Mother's Day, they're starting to fade out as well. And then weeds. You can see a weed. Whoop. There we go. Focus. Can't Point wants to focus on me. Look at this weed growing up out of the bush. That's lovely. So yes, that's one of the things I have to tackle. Get this cleaned up and put the mulch in. The leaning tower of mulch. And then the sheep bed right here. There's the pink polka dot plants. They're starting to fade out. But they put on a really good show with the caladiums this year. So no complaints. The coleus beat out my dragon wing begonia in this pot. But I never planted it, so I know better now. But I told my best friend, yeah, just pop that in the pot and that should be a good companion. And she did. She did what she was told. But the coleus here, oh, it won out. And then this is a proven winner's dragon angel wing begonia. And it's beautiful. It's done spectacular. And then ZZ plant back here. And this will go indoors before the first frost. So yeah, there's that. Got my pool cushion out over here. So we were sitting out here in the garden the other day and gave a spot for Ellie to have somewhere soft to land on. So over here, these cream caladiums are given out. ZZ plant. Looks good. That will also go in before the first frost. But my Patriot hosta, it was so big and full, and yep, starting to put itself away. And then out there are my roses. I kind of went over those in the video before, so I'll just show you them real quickly. They're not putting on any blooms right now. Here is Princess Elise that I got from Heirloom Roses. Has not been in the ground long. Putting on good growth and some leaves. And this is the Lady of the Lake. They're healthy. They've been growing. This is Litchfield Angel. Also, I picked this up from Heirloom Roses and it's putting on some leaves. And this is Claire Austin, and she's growing up. So yeah, just getting started with my little rose garden here. And this will be one entrance right here into the rose garden. So we'll have beautiful Princess Elise right here. Of course, I'll be adding some more things. Then over here, my mind says it would be gorgeous to have just a bunch of hydrangeas planted under here. But my luck with hydrangeas has not been going too well here in North Texas. But I just want them so bad. But now these big leaf hydrangeas here, they're white. They're hanging on. First year, they were just 2.5 quarts. So we'll see what they do next year. And they're just thriving in here with some leaves and some sedge grass here, trying to fill in. But here are my new roses. Oh, let me back up. Here's the crepe myrtles, so they'll be a part of this little rose garden. There'll be a little path coming through here, a little winding path. I can see it all in my head. Let's just see if we can make that happen. And these are my Belinda's Dream Roses. So this is what I'm tackling after I wrap this video up of getting their beds created and getting them in the ground. So I'll be pulling them out from the fence and actually using my tape measure, because they need to be planted according to Texas A&M Ag 7 feet on center to give them plenty of breathing room. But I want to make sure I get that right. I just kind of set them out here for the video yesterday to show whereabouts they would be going. All right, so this grass. So circling back to the soft serve false cypress trees up front. See how beautiful and lush this grass is. And then what we just walked through, struggles. However, this gets afternoon shade, like right here. So you can see how pretty this grass is. So I think I'm going to use those two trees, shrubs. Are they trees or shrubs? Anyway, the soft serve false cypresses, one over here and one over here, and they can mark the entrance this way into what will be the rose garden. So I think that'll be pretty. I think it's a way to keep them and keep them alive, because this thing right here is actually a stump with suckers all over it. Because of the hot temperatures and no rain, burn bans. So, and someone filled this tree with concrete. So when we had it cut down, they couldn't get the entire trunk down because it's filled with concrete. So my husband has to burn that stump down and then sledgehammer out the concrete. Just terrible. Oh, there's a swallowtail over there. Let's see if I can get it. I'm kind of glad I didn't yank these zinnias out, even though I didn't like them. Please stay. Oh, what a lovely, lovely little cameo for the video today. Okay, let me get the camera back out of zoom. Okay, here we go. Here's this bed. It has a Carly Rose fountain grass. I bought that in case my division didn't work, but it ended up working, so I just popped it in this bed. And then I have some snapdragons, and hopefully they'll be snapping back soon. A Mississippi River clematis that I was going to use as ground cover over here. It's got a bloom on it, but I'll have to get this bed, has to be remulched. A lot of work to do out here, but yeah. Oh, that's pretty color. My canna lilies never bloomed. But then I have these zinnias. They just looked poorly for a long time, but I just left them up, and I'm glad I did. They have some pretty colors, and the pollinators seem to like them, even though they had some really yucky looking leaves and they weren't that pretty, but I'm glad I left them. But those will be coming down shortly. More snapdragons here. And then here's my planter, if you're wondering about an update on that I did. And pay no attention to these guys. Just let the petunias go, you guys. I just let them go. Here, there's nothing here because I pulled these back because I did a video on the Mundo grass living wreaths. And here they are. So they're still in the laying flat instead of hanging up to get settled in like they said to do. So I'm super pleased with these guys. I got to give them a little bit of water this morning before I start on that bed over there. But here's this planter. So I'm so glad I picked up those clearance plants because it has given me a little bit of joy. Even through the strife of the heat, I've enjoyed it. Look at Rosemary, loving her life. But this vinca has done beautifully, just blooming out, as you can see. The Angelonia doesn't have any blooms on it, but it is alive. And then the lantana has bloomed for me. It's kind of in and out. It's snapped back, but it's yellow. I thought it might be purple or pink, but ended up being yellow. So very pretty. And then my pepper started putting on some growth here. I guess it was happy to have these plants in here with it. And here's this, here's my basil. Here's the other vinca off of clearance that I have planted in here. Very pretty. Very pretty. But the rest of this, I'm just letting these containers go because I'm done. I was going to pull this out anyway. So when I was getting help with watering, I said, don't worry about those on the little columns here. But some persevered. Some are trying to hang on. This is just now starting to put on growth, this sweet potato vine. So that's kind of wild. Yeah, just getting into season and just tired, and we're tired, and garden's tired, everybody's tired. I'm going to clean these up, but I am going to be keeping this creeping Jenny. But these geraniums gave out a while back, and I should have pulled them out then, but I didn't. So there's that. All right, we're just going to head into the pool area right quick. I still have my table out where I did the living wreaths here. These go on either side of the door, but I think I'm going to be doing a big change up here as far as planters. I'm hoping to find a planter. Oh, my lemon coral sedum, just a rock star. That's just now a mainstay in my garden. The second year I've done that in this pot, and wonderful. All right, let me get a shot this way. I think it's all perspective. It actually, even with the pots of dead petunias, doesn't look so bad. Just a little bit of pretty. Look at the butterfly. We got another butterfly. They just want to be a part of it today, don't they? Where are you going? Come back. Come out of patio area. We'll go into the pool area. Ooh, I'm getting a little warm, even though it's nice and cool this morning, but that sun is coming at me. All right, so same thing in here. The pots, they're just, everything's done. I have pulled out the calibrachoas, the super bells that were in here, and the bee's knees petunias. They're already out. Here is the tropical hibiscus that I'm going to try to overwinter. Doesn't have any blooms or buds, but it's alive, doing well, doing really well. The back side here where my roses are going to be, but they're going to be out just a little bit further. These are my totem pole grasses. I do have some rock that was also delivered with the mulch. Yay! That matches that rock there. That way we can finish bringing the rock in and finish this lookout here in the pool area. Can't wait to show you that. We'll just take a look over in here right fast. My fern on the table is doing well. And these little planters with the Vincent Angelonia, they've gotten plenty of water. Everything is done for the season, and that's fine. But this Chinese fountain grass, you guys, I'm so proud of this because I seeded this myself indoors last year. So last year was its first year. I cut it back late winter. I let it all die back. Then I cut it back. It overwintered in this pot outside. This is its second year. It's back. And this year it has these beautiful plumes. Y'all, I am so tickled over that. I love that. I love when something good happens like that. So, woo, success there on that fountain grass, and the same for the same pot that mimics this pot over there, doing well. But the fountain grass, it's okay. The lantana in here, I mean, everything's just done, kind of done. But yeah, that fountain grass is feeling crunchy, All right, I'm gonna skip over here. We'll look at these little pots. Then we'll wrap this up. Okay, full disclosure, I didn't actually skip over here. I don't even know if I know how to skip anymore. Here we go. This was full of, it was just a nursery hanging pot. So I don't even know if it's a particular brand of plants, but it was purple petunias, this bright pink verbena, and some calibrachoa that I don't see any signs of. I think it's completely gone now. Yeah, that was the calibrachoa. It was light pink. But these performed so well. But look at that verbena still going. Gorgeous. It's going to pan back this way because I need to wrap this up and get started on getting the roses in the ground. The Belinda's Dream right here. Nice little shot back there to the window box on the shed. So thank you so much for watching and adding color to my world.